Welcome everybody to the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting, Tuesday, January 14th. I'll call the meeting to order and start with roll call on my left.
Frank Mills, Mark Haskell,
June Yankee,
John Moyer,
Karla Desjardins,
Dan Kipchakevich.
Katie O'Neill.
Brian Bright, Sean Staub.
Sherry Pollard.
All right. We do have a quorum and all full members are present, so there will be no appointment of alternates tonight. Starting with the public hearing, item A, 24-18SP of Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Inc., requesting a special permit modifications to site plan approval on property located at 1260 Norwich Road, Assessor's Map 5, Block 3, Lot 1, Industrial 1 Zoning District. And we have speaking for the applicant.
Hello again, everybody. Kyle from CLA Engineers, here tonight on behalf of the applicant. You might remember we were here in December, and I had given you guys an introduction to the project. The project, or the application, is a modification of an existing site plan approval. We were here last January for the approval of the Ritchie Brothers site at 1260 Norwich Road. Just to reorient everybody, Rube Road along this side of the sheet, and Route 12 North Road across the top of the sheet. I can briefly go over what the scope of the project, or the modification, I should say. We're looking to provide a new asphalt milling laydown area to this side of the development here. That's what this crosshatch area would be. We're also looking to relocate the check-in building to this location here. Previously, it was more or less in this area right here on the site. We're looking to move it out this way. Since our last meeting, there have been some minor adjustments to the plan to address comments from the town engineer. We provided some additional stormwater calculations to satisfy the town engineer, and adjusted the settling basin where all the stormwater will discharge to in accordance with his comments. With that, are there any additional questions or anything else you have to add?
This is a public hearing, so if there's anyone from the public with a comment or question on this application, this is your opportunity. So just step on up to the microphone and ask your comment or make your question. Ask your question, make your comment.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Paul Sweet. I live at 260 New Road, Moosa. I just want to go on record supporting modification to the special permit on behalf of the Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers on Route 12.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the public with a comment or question? Any comments or questions from board members? Okay. Any additional comments from staff?
Nothing else on my report.
Okay. Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Frank and a second by June. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is closed. Moving on to item B, 24-19SP of Sammy P. Inc., requesting a renewal of an earth excavation operation located at 0 Millbrook Road, Assessor's Map 10, Block 17, Lot 5, Industrial 1 Zoning District.
For the record, John Felician Boundaries LLC representing Sammy P. In this renewal. The application that you have before you is for renewal of permits that were granted between January and August of 2020. There were actually 7 permits issued during that time frame for different phases of this property. 6 of those permits we are seeking renewal for. The 7th permit that we are not seeking a renewal for is the portion of the property on the westerly side of it that overlaps onto the Gluck property. That excavation will be complete
in the area restored within the time frame of the original permit, which is this summer of 2025. The 6 other areas of the site we are seeking additional renewals for. We presented the application for renewal to the Inland Wetlands Commission. It was approved at their December 17th, 2024 meeting. And we are in receipt of comments from town staff, from both the town engineer and from the town planner, both of which have been satisfied. We have approvals from the town engineer dated 12/19 and from the town planner 12/31, having addressed all of their comments. We are not proposing any changes to the operations of the site in terms of equipment, hours of operation, or limits of excavation. We are proposing a slight change to the westerly portion of the site over in this area adjacent to the Gluck property. And again, that portion of the footprint that we're not actually seeking renewal for is this small rectangular area on the westerly side of the site. That work will be completed by the July 2025 deadline under the existing permit and restored and stabilized. Sheet 5 of the plan set that I have submitted depicts the proposed modifications that we are seeking. We are proposing to add an additional 97,000 cubic yards of excavation to that portion of the site, and we're achieving that by lowering the elevation of the floor of the excavation at a depth of about an additional 8 feet on this end of the property and to about 12 feet on the adjacent end to the Gluck property. That excavation is actually essentially already completed. It was excavated during the current construction. The floor elevation that we're proposing is 150 in that area. The existing floor today is actually already at 150. It was excavated below what was previously approved during the excavation period that's already occurred. So this renewal is also to essentially clean up what's there currently and to maintain the elevation that's already been established. So we're not going to be excavating below the depth that's there currently. And we do have adequate separation to the water table. That leaves us about a 6-foot cushion to the water table based on the elevations from the original work that we've done on the site. Again, other than that, there's no changes to trips per day, no changes to the operation, no changes to hours, and we are seeking renewal for an additional 5-year period.
Thank you. This is a public hearing, so if there's anyone in the audience with a comment or question on this application, this is your opportunity to step up to the microphone.
Again, my name is Paul Sweet, 260 New Road, and I just want to speak in favor of the request to renew the earth excavation 2419 SP of San P. Incorporated. Speak in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the public? Any? Okay. Hearing and seeing no other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by June.
Second.
Second by Bart, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Public hearing is closed. Moving on to the regular meeting. So I call the regular meeting to order. Additions or corrections to the agenda. We do have one item, item D, 24-2SA of custom-built homes by Greg Lato to add under item D of new business. Do I have a motion to add that?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Item is added to new business as item D. Citizen participation. This is opportunity for the public to address the board on a topic that is not an active application or a public hearing. Are there any comments from the board? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to our unfinished old business. Item A, 24-18 SP of Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, Inc., requesting a special permit modification to site plan approval on property located at 1260 Norwich Road, Assessors Map 5, Block 3, Lot 1, Industrial 1, Zoning District. Are there any items of discussion from board members? So in the staff report, staff did indicate some conditions, and this includes staff and engineering conditions. One, Mylars are to be recorded with the town clerk. The site must be completed prior to the approval site plan, and all structures are to be constructed and receive a CO prior to issuance of a use and compliance permit to commence operations. A zoning permit is required to commence site construction.
Madam Chair, there's also some on the next page, which is the engineering report.
Yep, I'm moving right to it.
Please read it.
All right, on the engineering page, item 1, all previously permitted stormwater management systems shall be constructed in accordance with the previously permitted design. And item 2, all existing and previously permitted erosion control measures shall remain in place. Activities shall be conducted in a manner that does not cause or contribute to violation of state water quality standards. Erosion and sediment control best management practices shall be installed immediately prior to and be maintained during and after construction as needed to prevent adverse impacts to water resources and adjacent lands. Such practices shall be in accordance with Connecticut guidelines for soil erosion and sediment control. Any other items for discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion on the application, and if you're going to include those conditions, please make your motion including conditions as read.
I would move to approve with conditions as read from the staff report and the town engineering.
Okay, motion by Bart and a second by Frank. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Application is approved with conditions as read. Item B, 24-19 SP of Sammy P. Inc., requesting a renewal of earth excavation operation located at 0 Millbrook Road, Assessor's Map 10, Block 17, Lot 5, Industrial 1 zoning district. As with the last application, staff and engineer have made some recommendations for conditions. Mylars are to be recorded with the town clerk. The performance bond from previous approvals shall remain in place for the duration of the project. The finished grade along Millbrook Road in the western site shall be 1 foot vertical to 3 foot horizontal. Engineering, item 1, all previously permitted stormwater management systems shall be constructed in accordance with the previously permitted design. Item 2, all existing and previously permitted erosion control measures shall remain in place. Activities shall be conducted in a manner that does not cause or contribute to violations of state water quality standards. Erosion and sediment control best management practices shall be installed immediately prior to and be maintained during and after construction as needed to prevent adverse impacts to water resources and adjacent lands. Such practices shall be in accordance with Connecticut guidelines for soil, erosion, and sediment control. Any items for discussion? I just have one. So in the report, it did mention that there was a violation of the grade. So I was just curious, what is the inspection schedule going to be just to ensure that they adhere to the
Well, we
permitted
do-
depths?
We do stop out there, we don't have a way of telling what the depth is.
Okay,
That is why every time we finish a phase, they're supposed to present that information to us.
okay. So are they going to file a report, like, as they move through, just to have like a schedule, just to make sure that it's in
This
accordance?
This one didn't really have phases to it, they were kind of all over the place. So
Yeah.
they never really closed out phase to,
Because they were separate applications.
that and just, they're not moving from one side of the site to the other.
Yep.
They're over here, and they're just excavating as they go.
So now they're combining into one application,
Yes.
but we're not requiring phasing on it.
Right. Back in 2020, the applicant kept on deciding to do different things on the site. So we'll come back in for the application.
So this is consolidation of all previously except the one that will be expiring because the work is complete. Any other comments or questions on this application? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the application. If you're including the conditions of approval, please be sure to include that in your motion.
I would move to approve with stipulations as read from the staff report and the town engineer report.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Bart and a second by June. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Application is approved with the conditions as read. Item C, 24-10SA of Ernest Colello Jr., applying for a 4-lot subdivision on property located on Moosup Pond Road, Assessor's Map 22, Block 88C, Lot 1, RA60 zoning district.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Greg Log, licensed land surveyor with P&Z Engineering Associates, with a place of business at 114 Westcott Road in Daniels. I have plans that I will pass out.
Thank you. I was like, that's
for
not
the
the right Gurney
subdivision.
project.
These plans are revised to January 10th, 2025. I'm going to start my presentation on sheet number 4, which is the parcel history map. So the applicant, Ernest J. Colello, purchased 2 parcels last year in 2024. One was 23-acre parcel, the other was 11.8-acre parcel. Those parcels were created back in 1956 when Interstate 395, back then it was called Route 52, bisected these parcels. They were eligible for free splits, so we did do free splits and a boundary adjustment. And the area that we're talking about tonight is this area in the lower left corner here, which is 8.5 acres. So we are proposing a 4-lot subdivision of that section. So here is the subdivision plan, which is sheet number 2, shows the 4 lots that we'll be creating. We will be setting the street line back in front of these 4 lots, the 25 feet from the setback, or from the center line of Horseshoe Pond Road. These lots are up against Interstate 395. I'm going to go to the site development plan to show you the development of each lot that we have. Basically, this is an open area. So there's no clearing that is proposed. It's a gently sloping area, about 5% on average for the grade. There are 2 frontage lots, which will have their houses here. That's lots number 1 and number 2. There's 1 rear lot to the back here. That's 4.1 acres. That will have its own driveway going to the back. And then the 4th lot is all the way to kind of the northwest corner of the property, and that will too have its own driveway, which there's already a paved apron that we will exercise using in that area. We did show that each house will be served by an on-site septic system and wells. We did do testing with the Northeast District Department of Health, and we submitted the subdivision plan to them for review for determination that it would be suitable. And I do have a letter dated December 12, 2024. I'll submit that for the record from NDDH, just indicating that the subdivision lots are approved. The other thing that we looked at, I know Norman Tebow is the engineer, that's my partner. He had worked with the new engineer here in town, Sean, to go over some of the drainage, to make sure that we had a 0 runoff on the lots. Everything pitches from basically Horseshoe Pond Road towards Interstate 395 and towards the back of the property. So what they have proposed is the driveways will have swales and detention areas that are shown in gray here for each one that will be able to handle a 100-year storm. Norman did provide a drainage report. The other item that we did is we created rain gardens for each house, so the downspouts from the rainwater will go into those. That will handle 1.3 inches of rain, the first 1.3 inches of a rain event. And again, I'm going to submit the drainage. I know that he's gone over that with Sean, but I'll submit this for the record as well. But this is Norman's drainage report for all those items. We're going to show silt fence on the downhill sides. Again, there's no clearing involved in this one. We do have notations regarding sight lines. Our sight lines exceed the 200-foot requirement. Essentially, you can see all the way to the intersection to the south and to the northwest. We have all of the dimensions posted here. They're well over 200 feet. The other thing in regards to that drainage is these are assumptions of what size houses will be here. here and where the driveways will be placed. Obviously, as we get into building the houses with the applicant, we will provide, individual site plans for each lot. And we have notations on here regarding that the drainage calculations will be revised and will be reviewed by the town engineer prior to issuance of the zoning permit. So we'll be bringing plans forward, because if the houses are bigger or if there's a garage proposed, obviously these areas will need to get bigger. So assumptions were made as to sizes, but as we get into the actual development and houses are sold, that's how we'll handle that situation. The last thing that I'll discuss, and then I'll turn it over to you for any questions, is the fee in lieu of open space. Traditionally, we've done that in the past on subdivisions. So I do have a letter here, and it's put together by Norman Tebow in talking with the applicant and the applicant's agent. And they put a value of this lot of $100,000 on this lot. If we break that up into 4, that's $25,000, and then usually it's a 10% fee. So we would propose, a $2,500 per lot fee in lieu of open space that would be paid at the time of the lot is being sold. And I'll submit this for the record, and I know traditionally that's what we've done in the past. So, and I'll leave it back to you for any questions that anybody might have of myself.
Any comments or questions from board members? Ryan, do we have to do a separate vote on the waiver, the fee in lieu of? No, that can just be as a condition?
Correct.
Okay. So staff did have a list of conditions of approval. Item 1, Mylars must be recorded with the town clerk. Item 2, the $2,500 per lot fee in lieu of open space shall be paid at the time of property transfer. Item 3, as the driveways and houses may change from the proposed plan, the town engineer shall review approved site drainage for MS4 standards prior to issuance of zoning permit. Engineering recommendations, item 1, drainage for individual site plans shall be reviewed and approved by the town engineer prior to the issuance of zoning permits for each lot. Item 2, activities shall be conducted in a manner that does not cause or contribute to violations of state water quality standards. Erosion and sediment control best management practices shall be installed immediately prior to and be maintained during and after construction as needed to prevent adverse impacts to water resources and adjacent lands. Such practices shall be in accordance with the Connecticut guidelines for soil erosion and sediment control. Any other items to discuss? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the application, including conditions, if you're making that motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the Mylars lot fees, drainage, water quality, open space.
As read.
Lot fees, yes, everything is read.
I have a motion by June to approve with conditions as read.
Second.
Second by Bart, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Application is approved with conditions as read.
Thank you very much for your time tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate that.
No problem. Moving on to new business. Item A, 25. Is that 1TA of the Planning and Zoning Commission, text amendment to Industrial 1 and Industrial 2 districts. Needs a public hearing, so I'll entertain a motion to schedule the public hearing.
Move that public hearing be scheduled for February 11th.
Okay, motion by Bart. Second by John, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Public hearing is scheduled for February. Item B, 24-2ZC of Ernest Colello Jr., requesting a zone change on a portion of 0 Brunswick Ave, map 4M, block 111, lot 11A, from RA60 residential to industrial, and this also needs a public hearing.
Move to schedule a public hearing at our February 11th meeting.
I have a motion by Bart to schedule the public hearing in February. I have a second by John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, scheduled to public hearing. Item C, 24-14 SPL of Earthlake Technologies requesting permission to relocate an existing solar array on property located at 26 Black Hill Road North Sewer Plant, Assessor's Map 14, Block 78, Lot 14. Now, Ryan, am I correct? This requires public hearing.
So this is existing use on the property.
Yep.
We're simply moving the solar array from one area to another.
But isn't it a modification of a previous site plan, though?
After the 24 signature.
Okay, and that was my next question, because I know we had a situation where town projects were not following zoning regulations, so we did have the newly effective municipal uses. So in those, I do see the uses permitted by special permit with site plan approval. And I understand that the commission can waive the right to a formal site plan, but I don't see that we can waive the special permit process.
Right, and I did tell the applicant that I wasn't sure if you want to sign a public hearing because it wasn't a new use on the property.
Right.
So I'm here tonight to see how you want to proceed.
Okay. And then it appears, so what would be the difference between a formal and an informal site plan? Because it does appear that we do have a outline.
We do have a formal site plan, survey site plan. I don't know if it meets all the requirements of an actual site plan. I didn't do that thorough review. Doesn't show us what we have.
Okay, so I guess my next question would be, if the commission determines that we follow section 15D, which is the special permit process, at the public hearing, we could then waive the formal site plan at the public hearing, is that right?
If they're missing some aspects of the formal site plan, I guess we will.
Okay, all right, that was all my questions on that. So given that information, are there any other items or questions about this process for this application? Okay, so given the regulations, as we just reviewed, this would also need a public hearing scheduled.
Schedule it for February. Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion by June to schedule to February. I have a second by Bart. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, public hearing. All right, review and act on the minutes from the 12/10/2024 meeting. Any?
Order, Madam Chair, I
Yeah.
believe there's an item D
Oh,
underneath this.
thank you. Thank you, Bart. Item D, 24-2SA of custom-built homes by Greg Leto, proposing a 9-lot subdivision with an 800-foot cul-de-sac road on property located at 0 Spalding Road, Assessor's Map 26, Block 10, Lot 12, RA60 zoning district. And this is a request for an extension to record the Mylars. So this just needs a vote of the commission?
Correct.
Okay. Any comments on that request? Okay, I'll entertain a motion on the request.
Move to approve a 90-day extension to record the Mylars.
Motion by Bart. Do I have a second? Second by Frank, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Request is approved. All right, now we can move on to the minutes. Any items for revision or change on the 12/10 minutes?
Looks good to me.
All right,
Make
here.
a motion to approve them.
All right, motion by June to approve.
Second.
Second by Bart, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Meeting minutes are approved. Moving on to correspondence.
We have one item of correspondence, and this is from the Connecticut Siting Council. They are looking to add a generator to the town garage cell tower.
All right, thank you. Report from zoning enforcement. Okay. Planning, report from planning.
Only one thing to update on, we are getting ready to move forward with the bid for the front entrance. So we're almost finalizing the plans of that.
Okay.
Ryan, can I ask you a quick question? Where do we stand on the spring building schedule for the 395 stuff, where we got wrapped up last year around the federal building program and the Army Corps of Engineers? Are we ready to move on that?
Are we talking Dow Road?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I apologize.
We are still at a standstill dealing with Army Corps.
So, my only concern is we missed the build window last year because of them. It is now 6 months later. Is there a remedy? Is there a course we can appeal to? Can the first selectman put a prod in the Army side and say, we really need you to make a decision?
We've been trying everything,
They just-
including state reps.
Okay, so they won't move.
Yeah, our engineers are working on it. We don't know where we stand, where we're going to stand, but our decision.
What is the zero bubble for us using the next build cycle? When do we have to be ready to make it this year?
We would have to be building prior to summer,
So by May,
somewhere in that area.
so we have 4 months basically, and if not, we'll lose the cycle again.
Yes, we still have to go out to bid as well, but at this point, we don't even have a finalized design plan because we don't know if Army Corps is going to let us use the original bridge design.
Right, this is a jurisdictional concern about who gets to own it because of, okay.
All right, so Lathrop Brook is waters of the U.S.,
Yep,
so they're implementing their authority, even though it's a state bridge project.
got it. Appreciate the update, thank you.
Under other, we had discussion of industrial regs, but since we scheduled those to public hearing, I don't think there's anything else to discuss on those. And then I would just ask staff for the next meeting that we add report from engineering. All right, since that'll be a recurring item on our agenda. All right. So hearing and seeing no other, I'll entertain a motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make that motion.
Motion by June, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.